load, so we can literally, as we're cutting and editing a chunk of tape, we can press the edit button and it's going to unload that chorus tape onto the floor. So then we can find the starting of that chorus, cut it, and then we'll hang that on the wall. You'll see most of the time in old in our studios before, when we used to do editing, cutting sections, how we used to edit was literally, if we wanted to get rid of the second chorus and pull it out, we'd have to go find it, scrub back and forth, right till we found the spot, and we'd slice it, we'd mark it, bring it up onto the chopping block, the editing block, which is here, like so. We put the block in, and we cut some tape. In here we pop the tape in, which I can show you. Guys, by the way, when you're doing your sessions, do not use any tape that is labeled a lab on it. Okay? You can use the ones that are not, like don't use that, that's a lab. This is a lab. Oh, I lost my pin again. This is a lab. But any of these reels here can be used aside. So we'll go through and mark these up for you, but this is a lab, this is a lab, JJ's is a lab. So don't use any of those because they're in-class lab sessions where we're going to probably have some tracks still on them. You just use student reels, which you'll see student reels for your own projects. So here, just to show you a quick little edit in, I want to get rid of some of this where we can see the tape is all frayed here, right? So if I want to clean this up, I bring this in like so. I want to make sure there's no wrinkles and lock it down like so. Then you'll see here we got a little line. I want to take the razor blade and cut across it like so. So in this case, I would say like this would be my chorus, and here I would take X feet, hang that on a peg on the wall and label it with masking tape, chorus 1, verse 1, chorus 2, verse 2, whatever, and then we compile it together how we want it to. So once we made the edit, this would roll off. We'd cut that piece, we'd mark it with a little grease pencil, we'd take that piece, we cut it, and then now I want to put it together. I've taken that second chorus out. Now I'm going to put this piece together like so. I'm going to lock it in here so that they're in there timing, or that they're tied up there nice and tight, and then I put a little chunk of editing tape on there, and that locks these two pieces of tape together. I don't want any gap in this like that, or I will hear right, I'm going to hear that break in the tape. So I want them nice and tight together so that they're seamed in there perfectly and locked like so, and then I put the tape down. You won't hear a thing. Pretty cool, eh? So, anybody want to keep the piece? That's basically how we sort of cut and do a quick edit of that, but that's the way we used to edit. Which can be very time consuming and somewhat sketchy, because if we didn't get that kick drum edited perfectly, we lost the attack somewhere on the floor. So you had to go find it and then splice it back in. So instead of the kick drum sounding like it now sounds like doom. You get what I'm saying, right? Finishing the last little bit, our torque selectors here. So you'll see high, medium, and low. So what this is it sort of creates the amount of torque and back pressure the machine has on the tape. We have three different reel sizes that we can utilize. We have a 14-inch hub, which is about this size, and then a 10-inch reel, and then we have a 7.5-inch reel, which is about yay big. We only use 10-inch reels in here, and 10-inch were pretty much the common reel size on the most part. On a 10-inch reel, we get on average about 2,500 feet of tape. So in that 2,500 feet, when we look at the speed reference here of low being 15 inches per second, and high is 30 inches per second, so twice the amount of speed, right? Gives us a little bit better quality in certain aspects, depending on what you want. I like drums actually at 15 inches per second a lot of the time, but 30 is great. It will give you a little bit tighter bottom end at times. So depending on what you want within it, but we usually align it and leave it. I'm gonna check here because I wasn't here yesterday, Monday, sorry, when they did usually I do the alignment with Jay and I've been doing it. I couldn't make it this Monday, so they went through, but I don't know. Usually we align it for 15 inches per second and just leave it there. I see it's on 30 today, so I'm wondering if there wasn't an issue as to why we just left it on 30, or if that's what we aligned it to for this semester. So I'll get that info for you and we'll know tomorrow. So basically within this, at 30 inches per second, 2,500 feet, we're going to get roughly about 16 minutes of recording time. If we do it at 15 inches per second, it's half the amount of speed, which means we're going to get twice the amount of time. So we'll get roughly about 33 minutes per reel on average. Give or take a little bit, these machines, when they're mass producing this tape, they make sure that there's at least 2,500 meters, and sometimes you get a little bit, or 2,500 feet, sometimes you get maybe another 20, 30, 40, I've seen even up to another 100 feet of tape on there, where I've gotten like up to 17 plus minutes of record time, but most commonly it's for sure you're going to get 33 and 16. Now, most of us in the industry will just generally, as slang, say 15 and 30. So you get 30 minutes at 15 inches per second and you get 15 minutes at 30 inches per second. You get a bit more than that, but that's kind of where we just round it out to. Okay? Just because you might hear somebody ask the question or say, well, you only get 30 minutes. Well, technically you get more like 33 and change. If you do the math, it's 33.66, right? So, but anyway, you see where we're at with that. So the torque is determining the size. So high will be the 14-inch reel, medium will be a 10-inch reel, and low would be a 7.5-inch reel for torque. So the last thing is the MVC button here. Does anybody know what that's for? Or what it's called? So that's your manual velocity control, or motor velocity control, some people call it. So this is so that you can jog back and forth the reel to rewind or fast forward to scrub to find the right part. You see in any of your DAWs where you see the scrub wheel, you'll see it on the console where it says scrub or shuttle, right? So shuttle will allow you to go back and forth, and scrub is really slowly going, so we can again edit and find where that waveform is. They transferred it into Pro Tools or the DAWs because this is where it came from, and sometimes you kind of want that selection. You guys will get that even if you take your listen key on Pro Tools and you grab it and then you drag it to the left or the right, allows you to hear that waveform sound. That's kind of scrubbing and shuttling back and forth on that sound to see where the transient is. Okay, so threading this tape. See if you guys can squeeze in here, because I kind of want you to see really how I do this. There's a technique to this. If you follow it, it'll be really easy, and you won't wreck the tape or destroy it. So a lot of time people want to go in here. First off, I always go into my little arm, or you can go through here first. But usually what I do is take and create a little bow. Just flip it out like that. Flip, and I drop it down in here like so. Okay? Don't do this where you're trying to get it in here and then you're bending. See how I'm crinkling the tape? Yes, it works. Yes, you might be okay, but just be careful with it. It's a lot easier if you just do this. Right? And then loop again, and you're going to go behind the dancer idler arm, like so, and in front of the idler guide arm. Okay? Now, because I've gone through the sensor, the machine is working. Let the machine work with you. It'll take the slack back. So if you get over here and you pull too much, let the machine just go and bring the slack back. Okay? Then, grab the wheel, stop it, bring your tape end in so you can see it right at the edge here. Okay? You seeing it? So what I do then is literally take my finger like so and drop it across that tape like so, and I push into the center of the wheel as I'm turning it around like so and flip it out in one motion. Then I just do this and my tape is threaded. So now we can shuttle. By fast forward stop will break it. This is what we call shuttling. And like so, if you're gonna stop the wheel, stop it at the side. Like so. It'll also allow the tape to scuff back or drop back into the guide like so. As you can see here, it's going to reel the tape back in. Do not stop the wheels like this. You will get your finger stuck in here and it'll literally rip it or cut it, or it'll hurt like a mother. Honestly. Second end is never stop this wheel over here by like this. Okay, again, don't come down from the top, come in from the side. If you come in from the sides and break them like so, you will never get hurt, trust me. Okay, coming down like this, that will cut right into the palm of your hand, and it's going to be the worst cut you'll ever feel in your life. Seriously, it cuts in there like a paper cut. But then what you're doing is with the oxide on this tape, you're taking a whole bunch of rusted metal and packing it and melting it in with the glue inside your cut. And that gets to sit in there for weeks until it heals. And I'm telling you, it's not pretty. It's really not pretty. So, I learned the hard way. I'm trying to prevent you guys from learning the hard way. But, if you don't want to listen to me, by all means, knock yourself out. I don't want you to be afraid of the machine. I just want to instill this within you as to how to deal with it. Even when I was just moving that tape over there, you saw me jump quickly because I felt the edge of that tape on my finger just by me trying to thread this. I just had it like this and I went like this with the tape. Now, you can handle it like so and it's not bad, but just don't run your hand along it. So once again, just flip it, loop it, drop it, flip, loop, drop, in, around, pinch, and done. That's how easy it is. And then I just run a couple of reels like that just to get it started so you can see that it's on there nice and tight. Okay? And then we're going to rewind back a little bit. I'm going to just stop. And then I'm going to have each of you guys shuttle it off to the end. Like so. And then just grab the reel. Okay? Sound cool? Who wants to go first? Each you're going to go through it. I want everybody to thread this. So I'll take my